Good day, grade 12 learners. Welcome to today's business studies lesson. My name is Tsidiso Tlhaka. We'll be looking into management and leadership, and the focus would be on our leadership theories. So today we'll be looking into our application questions now. Application question, the first question focuses on the theories. So you have an instruction there that says now, TATO allocates tasks to employees according to their level of maturity. And the first question says, name the leadership theory that TATO is applying. Number 2 says now, discuss the leadership theory applied by TATO. So you have question 1 and question 2, and your question 2 becomes a follow-on question. When TATO as a leader allocates tasks to employees according to their level of maturity, TATO is showing that is applying a particular leadership theory, a theory that focuses on checking the situation. Hence, we will call that theory situational theory, because it has to do with checking the level of maturity, which is a situation for TATO as a leader, because TATO would be interacting with the leaders on a day-to-day, or TATO would be interacting with the subordinates or employees on a day-to-day, so that he checks the level of maturity. However, the follow-on is to explain the theory. Then let us look now into answering. So you'd be expected here to say situational theory. Then that would give you your correct marks. Then we move now to say discuss the theory. How do you discuss it? You discuss to say the idea that TATO is allocating a task according to the level of maturity means that TATO is applying situational theory, which says different leadership characteristics are needed for different situations. So if a task needs someone who's more matured, therefore TATO should apply the level of maturity and assess the level of maturity of their employees. Then number 2, the situation dictates the leadership style that should be applied. So the leader must be flexible and adaptable. Then another aspect, it says the success of this theory depends on the kind of relationship that would exist between the leader and the follower, which makes it very, very vital for TATO, because the relationship between TATO as a leader and the subordinates would help to achieve great situational analysis. However, if TATO doesn't have a great relationship with the subordinates or employees, then it would become difficult for TATO to even assess some of his subordinates' abilities. Then we have another question which gives us an instruction to say, read the scenario below and answer questions that follow. We have Mountain Hotel. Then in your Mountain Hotel, we have Sihle. Sihle, the owner of Mountain Hotel, applies democratic leadership style in managing his employees. He has a positive attitude and knows that there is always more to learn. Sihle models the behavior that he wants to see in his followers. Question 1. Quote 2 roles of personal attitude in successful leadership displayed by Sihle in the scenario. Number 2, discuss the other roles of personal attitude in successful leadership. So that is your question 1. Then, what you are expected to do here is to quote from the scenario the positive roles. So as you can see, the first part of the sentence talks about Sihle being the owner and Sihle applying democratic leadership style in managing his employees. Do we have an answer there? We don't have an answer in those first 2 sentences. However, when we look into the other one, which says now he has a positive attitude and knows that there is always more to learn, then that one shows now the role of personal attitude to say the attitude is positive. So we can quote the first one to say now he has a positive a positive attitude and knows that there is always more to learn. Then another one we quote, because remember the question is looking for two roles of personal attitude, is that Sihle models their behavior that he wants to see in his followers. So that is how you would be expected to quote. Then when we look into question 2 now, discuss other roles of personal attitude beside the ones we saw from the scenario. So the positive attitude releases the leadership potential. A good attitude can influence the success of the business, because as a leader, you're going to always be positive and take positive insight from your subordinates. And then leaders with a positive attitude know that there's always more to learn. And then a good leader will stay with the task regardless of the difficulty. But what we see here is that the leader has a positive attitude and knows that there's always more to learn. So these would be considered to be repetition, because now discuss other roles. And in the scenario, we saw that Sihle always knows that he has a positive attitude and there's always more to learn. So you will make sure that you don't do the same error during your assessments. So you make sure that you don't do the same errors during your assessments. So with that being said, let us take a short break. Then we'll continue with the other application questions after the short break. Thank you.